Imagine standing nearly a kilometer above the ground. The city below looks unreal. Cars are tiny dots. The desert stretches endlessly into the horizon. And the wind, it doesn't just blow, it roars. This is not science fiction. This is the top of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building ever constructed by human hands. At 828 meters tall, it doesn't just dominate Dubai's skyline, it dominates the planet. But how do you build something this tall? How do you stop it from collapsing under its own weight? And why did Dubai decide to build it in the first place? Today we're going inside the engineering, ambition, and controversy behind the tallest building on Earth. The vision, turning desert into global power. In the early 2000s, Dubai had a problem. Oil reserves were limited. The city needed a future beyond fossil fuels. Leaders envisioned Dubai as a global tourism, finance, and luxury capital. And what better way to announce your arrival on the world stage than building something the world has never seen before? Not just another skyscraper. The tallest structure ever built. Construction began in 2004. The goal? Break every record. And they did. Rawners, the numbers that shock the world. Let's understand the scale. Rawners, height, 828 meters, 2,717 feet. Concrete used, over 330,000 cubic meters. Steel reinforcement, 39,000 metric tons. To put it into perspective, if you stacked 3 Eiffel Towers on top of each other, you'd still be shorter. This wasn't just tall. It was absurdly tall. The man behind the design. The chief architect behind the Burj Khalifa was Adrian Smith, working with the architecture firm Skidmore, Owings and Merrill. The design was inspired by a desert flower called the Hymenicalis. That's why the tower has its iconic Y-shaped footprint. But that shape isn't just aesthetic. It's engineering genius. The wind problem. At 828 meters, wind becomes the biggest enemy. The higher you go, the stronger the forces. Skyscrapers can sway dangerously, sometimes by several feet. So how did engineers solve this? Instead of a flat, uniform structure, the Burj Khalifa features a buttressed core structural system. The Y-shaped base spreads the load evenly. As the tower rises, its setbacks change at different heights. This confuses wind patterns, preventing dangerous vortex formation. In simple terms, the building tricks the wind, and that's one of the main reasons it still stands safely today. Pumping concrete into the sky. Another massive challenge? Concrete. Concrete gets weaker in extreme heat, and Dubai is one of the hottest places on Earth. Engineers developed a special high-performance concrete mix that could withstand extreme temperatures. Even more impressive? Concrete was pumped vertically more than 600 meters into the air, a world record at the time. Imagine pushing liquid rock nearly 2/3 of a kilometer upward. That's engineering at the edge of possibility. Elevators and internal systems. Inside the Burj Khalifa are some of the fastest elevators in the world. They travel at speeds up to 10 meters per second. But here's something interesting. You can't just take one elevator from the ground to the very top. The building uses a sky lobby system. You transfer between elevators at different levels. Why? Because cables that long would be too heavy and inefficient. Even elevator weight becomes a problem at this scale. One inside. The Burj Khalifa isn't just offices. Inside you'll find luxury residences, corporate office spaces, observation decks, and the prestigious Armani Hotel Dubai. The observation deck, at the top, sits hundreds of meters above ground and attracts millions of visitors every year. Living here isn't just expensive, it's elite. World records. The Burj Khalifa holds multiple world records. Tallest building in the world, tallest freestanding structure, highest occupied floor, highest observation deck, elevator with the longest travel distance. It didn't break one record, it broke them all. The controversy. But not everything about the Burj Khalifa is glamorous. The construction relied heavily on migrant labor. Reports surfaced about poor working conditions and low wages during its development. Critics also questioned whether the project was more about image than function. Was this an engineering necessity or a statement of power? Some argue it was both. The Burj Khalifa became a symbol of ambition, wealth, and modern engineering dominance. It transformed the skyline and helped solidify Dubai's position as a global tourism hotspot. Sometimes, a building isn't just a building, it's a message. The future. Can it be beaten? For now, Burj Khalifa remains the tallest, but projects like the Jeddah Tower aim to surpass 1,000 meters. The skyscraper race isn't over. Human ambition doesn't stop at 828 meters. It keeps climbing. Final thoughts. The Burj Khalifa isn't just concrete and steel. It's proof of what happens when ambition meets engineering innovation. It represents risk. It represents vision. It represents dominance. From the desert sands of Dubai rose a structure so tall, it reshaped global architecture. And whether you see it as a masterpiece, a symbol of excess, or both, one thing is undeniable. When humanity decides to reach the sky, we don't stop halfway.